إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، نتعاون على الأصول لا على السياسة. يا عباد الله, we cooperate upon the principles, not upon politics. قال إمام الوادعي رحمه الله تعالى: نرى وجوب التعاون مع أي مسلم على الحق. قال إمام الوادعي رحمة الله عليه, and we see the obligatory, or we see it being an obligation to cooperate with any Muslim, أي مسلم على الحق, who is upon the truth. That we see it as being obligatory to cooperate with any Muslim who is upon the truth, because our cooperation, ya ibad, is a cooperation that is based upon cooperating with those who are upon the truth, based upon the principles, the usul of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. We cooperate upon birr wa taqwa. We cooperate with those who are upon the truth, those who are upon the haqq. These are the ones who we cooperate with. So our cooperation is upon the usul. It's not upon siyasa, it's not upon politics, but it's upon the usul, it is upon the principles. وقال صاحب الكتاب تحفة الماعي في التعليق على هذه دعوتنا وعقيدتنا لإمام الوادعي. قال صاحب الكتاب: التعاون الشرعي, the legislated cooperation, واجب على كل Muslim. It is obligatory upon every Muslim, and that is the legislated cooperation. لقوله تعالى: وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. And this is according to Allah Ta'ala's statement. What translated means: and cooperate upon birr wa taqwa, upon righteousness and upon piety, upon taqwa, having fear for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا, and do not cooperate, عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ, and do not cooperate upon sin and upon transgression. وهو تعاون على ما فيه صلاح الإسلام والمسلمين, and that is cooperating with one another in those affairs that have in it a benefit, a rectification, some form of benefit for Islam and for the Muslims. ولا يكون ذلك إلا بالثبات على الحق والدعوة إليه والالتزام بتعاليم الكتاب والسنة. And this will not be except that we have to be firm upon the truth, We will not cooperate in that which will bring benefit to the Muslims, except that that cooperation is that which is firm upon the truth, and in calling to it, and in sticking to the teaching of the book and the Sunnah. This is the type of cooperation that we are called to have. To cooperate with one another upon that which is righteous, upon that which is from piety, upon the usul, upon the principles, cooperating with one another upon the haqq, upon the truth. فإذا خالف الكتاب والسنة فهو تعاون على الإثم والعدوان. And if it contradicts the book and the sunnah, if it goes against the book and the sunnah, then this is a cooperation upon sin and transgression. So any type of coming together and helping one another, if that includes and entails that which is contrary to the book of Allah and the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then this is a cooperation upon sin and transgression. This is a cooperation that it is prohibited. This is a cooperation that is haram. Because Allah Jalla wa Ala, He said, وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ, and do not cooperate upon sin and transgression. So it is haram to cooperate upon that which is contrary to the book, contrary to the sunnah. There is no helping out in these affairs. There is no working together in these affairs. There is no aiding and assisting in these affairs, because these affairs are haram. So therefore it's not permissible for us to aid one another in the likes of this, but rather that will enter into the prohibition, as Allah Ta'ala, He says, and do not cooperate upon sin and transgression. An example of this type of haram cooperation is like a ta'assub al-hizbi. It is like having a bigoted attachment to a partisan group, or having a bigoted partisanistic attachment. This is haram. We are not allowed to cooperate in the likes of this. We are not allowed to help one another when it comes to this. And the Shaykh, he says, وَقَبَلِ, and also to help and aid one another from the foundation and from the standpoint of tribalism. To cooperate just because of tribalism. This man is from my tribe, and so on and so forth. And we know that this affair of tribalism is from the most despicable of the affairs. This is not an affair that's acceptable. It is not an affair that is acceptable, but rather it is that which is rejected. That we will work with one another just because we are from the same tribe? What kind of madness and foolishness is that? This is not from the call of Al-Islam, but this is from those calls in which we have to divorce ourselves from. As Imam al-Wadi'i, rahmatullah alayh, he goes on and he says, وَنَبْرَوْا إِلَى اللَّهِ مِنْ دَعَوَاتِ الجَّاهِلِيَّةِ, and we free ourselves unto Allah from those calls of jahiliyyah, those calls of the times of ignorance, those calls of the jahiliyyah. وقال مؤلف والدعوات الجاهلية التي يحصل فيها شيء من التعاون ولكنه مخالف للكتاب والسنة. He said in there, and inside of those pre-Islamic calls, you may have therein that which has a degree from cooperation. It has some type of cooperation that is found therein. But it is a cooperation that is in opposition to the book and the sunnah. It's a cooperation that's contrary to the book and the sunnah. So if we're coming together and cooperating for reasons that are contrary to the book and the sunnah, upon things that is contrary to the book and the sunnah, then we are cooperating upon the da'wah of jahiliyyah. Then we are cooperating upon an un-Islamic da'wah, an un-Islamic call, a call that is un-Islamic. والدعوة الجاهلية تشمل دعوة إلى الحزبية. And the da'wah of jahiliyyah, it encompasses and it includes the call to partisanship, the call to hizbiyyah. All of this enters into the da'wah of jahiliyyah, the call to hizbiyyah. وَالدَّعْوَةِ إِلَىٰ عَصَبِيَّةِ, and the da'wah to being bigoted and bigotry. This enters into the call of jahiliyyah. Being bigoted and having bigotry, This is not from the deen of al-Islam. This is from an un-Islamic call. So calling one to cooperate because of a bigoted manner, then this is from an un-Islamic call. With da'wah ila aruba, and the da'wah to Arab nationalism. This is a da'wah that is from the da'wah of Jahiliyyah. This is not from the Islamic call. That we cooperate just because the man speak Arabic, just because the women speak Arabic, so we cooperate with them. No, we cooperate with those who are upon the haqq, whether they are Arab, whether they are Ajam, whatever. If they are upon the haqq, then we cooperate with them. If they are not on the haqq, then we do not cooperate with them, whether they are Arab or non-Arab. Also, it enters into the da'wah of Jahiliyyah, the da'wah ila al-qawmiyyah, the da'wah to qawmiyyah, the da'wah to racism. This enters into the da'wah of Jahiliyyah, the un-Islamic call, the call of racism, because he's my color, because he look like I look, and so on and so forth. This is a da'wah that is disgusting, it is despicable, it is not from the deen of al-Islam. We do not cooperate on the likes of this. وَالدَّعْوَةِ إِلَىٰ الْعِلْمَانِيَّةِ, and the call that is a call to secularism. This is from the cause of al-Jahiliyyah. This is from the cause of al-Jahiliyyah, the cause that are un-Islamic, calling to come together and to cooperate based upon secularism. No, we cooperate only upon the truth, not upon politics. And also الدعوة إلى الديمقراطية, the da'wah to democracy. This is a da'wah that is from Jahiliyyah. The da'wah to democracyya or democraطية, this is from Jahiliyyah. We don't call to come together upon democracy. La, this is from Jahiliyyah. وغيرها من أمور الجاهلية, and other than that, from the affairs of a Jahiliyyah, we do not come together, we do not cooperate upon these things, because our cooperation is built upon the principles. It is not built upon politics. We cooperate with those who are upon the haqq, we cooperate with those who are upon the truth, and we free ourselves from all of the calls, of Jahiliyyah, whether that is a call to democracy, or a call to secularism, or a call to racism, or a call to being bigoted and the like. We free ourselves from the likes of these things. We have nothing to do with these things, because these things are un-Islamic calls. So we free ourselves from that which is un-Islamic, and we cooperate upon that which complies with the deen of al-Islam, which conforms to the rules and regulations of the Sharia. This is what we come together upon. This is what we cooperate upon, not for these other things. هذا أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Ya ibad, is incumbent upon us that we stick to this, that we only cooperate upon the principles. We do not cooperate upon politics. It is incumbent that we stick to this. وقال إمام الوادعي رحمة الله عليه: نرى هذه جماعات المعاصرة المتكاثرة سببا لفرقة المسلمين وإضعافهم. Imam al-Wadi'i rahmatullah alayhi, he said, and we see that these various modern day groups and organizations, they are a cause for the separation and weakening of the Muslims. These modern day groups, they are a cause for the separating and dividing of the Muslims. هذه جماعات كل جماعة قد اتخذت لها رأسا مفتونا وقواعد منحرفة تولى وتعادي من اتصب إليها. He said, in all of these modern day groups, قال صاحب الكتاب المؤلف في تعليقه, he said, all of these groups, all of these modern day groups that have taken ahead they have taken ahead that is most troublesome, and they have innovated principles contained therein, where they have loyalty and disloyalty based upon those who are attributed to their group. Based upon those who are attributed to their group. مما أدى إلى تفرق المسلمين. It is from that which causes the separation of the Muslims, and it brings about disunity. وضعفهم, and it brings about their weakness. والفرقة ضعف وعذاب وهلاك. And separation and disunity, it is weakness, it is punishment, and it is destruction. وهذه جماعات والأحزاب جاهلية. And these groups and these parties, then they are from un-Islamic parties. They are from un-Islamic parties. So they call them al-Jama'iyya Islamiyya is a misnomer. You should not say about them Islamiyya, because Islam does not call to this. Does not call to the Muslims who break and to split into different groups and organizations, like the Ikhwan al-Muslimin. This da'wah, that is a da'wah siyasiyya, munharifa, bid'iyya. It is a da'wah that is political. It is a da'wah that is built upon principles that are astray. It is a da'wah of jahiliyyah. It is a da'wah that's based upon bid'ah. This is what weakens the Muslims, the likes of the Ikhwan al-Muslimin, the likes of Jam'iyyah Ihya Turab. This is what weakens the Muslims. The likes of Jama'at al-Tabligh. This is what weakens the Muslims. The likes of these Jama'iyat. This is what weakens the Muslims. Be they Maghrib, be they Zaytuna, be they whatever. This is what weakens the Muslims. These are from the cause, that's from the cause of bid'iyah, the cause of jahiliyyah. This is not from the call of al-Islam. This is not what Allah Ta'ala has commanded us to do. He has not told us to break into groups like the Jama'atul Tabligh. He has not called us to break into groups like the Ikhwan al-Muslimin. He has not called us to break into groups like Hizbun Nur al-Masriya al-Bid'iyya. These groups, we are free from them, because they are un-Islamic groups. So to say about them Islamiyya is a misnomer. They are not Islamiyya, they are Bid'iyya. Ihya Turab, Jam'iyya, Bid'iyya. Like it who like it, hate it who hate it. The Prophet ﷺ, he explained to us that breaking and splitting like this, it is nasty, it stinks. It is that which has a repugnant and despicable smell, as it comes in that hadith that is muttafaqun alayh, from the hadith Jabir radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, where the Prophet ﷺ, he said, بِدَعْوَ الجَّاهِلِيَّةِ وَأَنَا بَيْنَ أَظْهُرِكُمْ دَعُوهَا فَإِنَّهَا مُنْتِنَةٌ. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, are you calling to the call of jahiliyyah? When one person tried to call people who had a tribe in common with him, and another did the same, the Prophet ﷺ, he scolded this behavior. And he said, are you calling to the call of jahiliyyah? And I'm amongst you? Leave this alone, because verily it is despicable. It is that which stinks. Muntina. It stinks. This is how the Prophet ﷺ described this dividing. So who will now come and say that the Ikhwan al-Muslimin is something of benefit, when the Prophet ﷺ had described such as that which stinks? Who is it will come and say that the Jama'at al-Tabligh is a Jama'ah of benefit, when the Prophet ﷺ had described it as that which stinks? Who will come and say that Ihya Turab is that which has any benefit, when the Prophet ﷺ described it as that which stinks? This da'wah, these da'wat, these jama'iyat, then they are, as the Prophet ﷺ described them, they are that which stinks. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His noble book, He commands us to come together upon the haqq. Allah ta'ala, He says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبِّ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. and come all of you together upon the book of Allah. Come all of you together upon the habl of Allah, and do not divide, do not separate. Allah Ta'ala, He did not tell us to break into different groups, to break into different jam'iyat, to break into different organizations and the like. No, but we are to be together as one. The Muslims are to be together as one upon the haqq. Anything other than that, it is as the Prophet ﷺ called it, and that is, it is despicable, it's stinky. Muntina, it stinks. Allah Ta'ala, He says, وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ تَفَرَّقُوا وَاخْتَلَفُوا مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْبَيِّنَاتِ. And do not be like those who have broken up, they split and divided after the guidance has come to them. After the clear guidance has come to them. وَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. Allah Ta'ala, He says, and they will have a tremendous punishment. Those who want to split, those who want to separate, those who want to divide, those who want to cooperate upon sin and transgression, those who want to come together upon the da'wah of jahiliyyah, whether that da'wah was built upon racism, or that da'wah was built upon being bigoted, or that da'wah was built upon calling to democracy or secularism or whatever, then for them is a tremendous punishment. We don't come together for these reasons. We come together for the haqq. We cooperate upon the haqq, not upon politics. We cooperate upon the principles, not upon politics. So we don't care who the organization is. We don't care what that particular masjid is called. If they are not those who are upon the haqq, we will not cooperate with them. We will not cooperate with them. Never. We don't care about your numbers. I want you to understand this, everyone who hears my voice. If you're upon bid'ah, you're upon hizbiyyah, we don't care about your numbers. And I mean that monetarily, and I mean that physically. We don't care about how much money you got, and we don't care how many people come to your masjid. We don't care how much you pack them in. If you packing them in based upon bid'ah, we will never have anything to do with you. Like it who like it, hate it who hate it. Radiya man radiya wa kariha man kariha. We don't care how big your chandelier is. We don't care how plush your rug. We don't care how your facility look. We don't care. We'd rather sit outside on a corner or in a plot of land with the string around it where the masjid is going to be, and be patient upon that. You keep your place. You keep your facilities. As long as you're upon bid'ah, we want nothing to do with you. We'll never cooperate with you. Kariha man kariha. Radiya man radiya. Hate it who hate it, like it who like it. And this is because Allah Ta'ala has commanded us that we have to come together upon the habl of Allah, the rope of Allah Jalla wa Ala. That's it. There's no other reason. We cooperate upon righteousness and piety. That's it. No other reason. So we don't care anything about your numbers. You want to give us money? Keep your money. If you're from these jam'iyyat, keep your money. لا مرحبا بكم. You're not welcome. إحياء تراث لا مرحبا بكم. إخوان المسلمين لا مرحبا بكم. جماعة التبليغ لا مرحبا بكم. أي بدعي لا مرحبا بكم. You're not welcome. Keep it. Keep your check. Because we free ourselves from the da'wah of jahiliyyah. But those who want to come together upon the haqq, come together upon the truth, upon the kitab and the sunnah, upon that which the first of this ummah was upon, ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. For those ones who want to come together upon the truth, ahlan wa sahlan. You are more than welcome. We welcome you. You're always welcome. Our door is always open. We are always ready to help, always ready to work and cooperate with any man upon the sunnah, ala wajh al-ard, anywhere in the earth, anywhere in the world. Ahlan wa sahlan. We are with you. We are together. We will cooperate. We will help you. We are already cooperating and helping you to the best of our ability. we are together. Because this is what Allah Ta'ala has commanded us to do. To come together upon the haqq. To cooperate upon the haqq. To cooperate upon the principles. Not upon politics. Let this be burnt into the ear and the mind of everybody. When you want to know the stance of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, you want to know the stance of the brothers here at Masjid al-Bukhari, but let it be clear. We cooperate upon the principles, not upon politics. هذا يا عباد فأقيموا الصلاة.